Hi, welcome to Far From Eden. Today I'm going to be that girlfriend. I'm going to be the one that says, hey, look at her. Isn't she hot? And when I show you, you'll understand where we're going with this. So let me just show you. Va-va-voom. Sydney Sweeney. You've probably seen other content creators sharing this article that came out in Newsweek that is claiming, shockingly, how hot girls became the right's new obsession. And it's in Newsweek. And while I greatly respect a lot of the content creators that I have seen the coverage of this from, I have a bit of a different angle. Yes, of course, they are right with what they said that, oh my gosh, how can they say it's the new obsession? Of course, all men have always liked hot women, and there's always been a type. That's why that same type can be seen on, before they kind of try to wokeify everything, but on, Victoria's Secret runway models, swimsuit edition, Sports Illustrated swimsuit edition, and of course we know Playboy. There's always a certain type. Usually many of them are blonde, most of them have long hair, and they're thin and they're pretty. Why? Because that's what men like. They want to sell magazines, they want to sell, so that's what they put on the cover. This is not a secret. So yeah, I get it. But here's what I think it's actually about. And we're going to read the article together. But what I think it's actually about, here, let's look at the hot girl again. She's very pretty, very pretty. But what it's actually about, I think, is they're mad that you are rejecting the loud, demanding, unfeminine, more full-figured and tatted up versions that they are trying to push on you. And did I say old? Also old, egg carton empty, already blown up a marriage. All these women that are the TikTok women that are like, where are all the good men? And you're like, well, sweetie, there's plenty of great men, but you just don't want the ones that are on your level, right? And the reason they can't get the ones they want is because they don't, even like the good, wonderful, average men, they don't want loud, uncooperative, masculine females. They don't want it. They're rejecting it. They'd rather walk away. That's right. They're mad you're walking away. They're mad you have standards. And, it doesn't mean you're demanding this, because men are realistic. Men know kind of where they are on levels, and they understand. They're mad. So they're putting this, and they put a face on it. And she's like exactly what most men find attractive. I'm gonna find some more pictures of her here. I'm not used to, I don't really do Instagram, so I'm like, oh gosh, we're gonna navigate Instagram here. But they are trying to vilify two groups of people. They're trying to vilify men for having, preferences like this. If you can see that, I'm really bad about, let's blow it up a little bit. They don't want you to like this right here. They don't want you to like that. They want to say conservative men. And who are the conservative men? The conservative men are the big boogeymen. They're the ultimate oppressors, right? So they want to vilify that. They also want to vilify women who want to look nice for men. This has been something that's been going on for a long time, ever since I was in high school, I think back in the 90s. They want to, if you grow your hair long and you stay thin and you wear feminine clothes and you behave and you're feminine and you're cooperative with your man, they don't want that. And I can tell you, other women have told me in the past, cut my hair, oh, she's just doing that for him, that kind of a thing. Because they don't want to compete, but also they're just, eating up the propaganda like good little statists. And they want to we know they want to end masculinity, right? They want to vilify it. And they want to vilify and end femininity too. So that women will look at somebody, there's this image of Sydney Sweeney, and be like, oh gosh, she likes people to look at her. And so we'll go through the article and I'll show you why this is my take on it. Let's get another picture for you guys. You can enjoy looking at her, just because you're MGTOW doesn't mean you can't enjoy, what, I don't want to get a girl boss picture of her. Oh, look, women of the, they're jealous. They're jealous. Women are jealous. Oops. I don't know what I'm doing. There you go. There's a picture of her. Let's get a prettier one for you guys. There she is. Look how pretty. Oh, now it wants me to log in. Well, heaven's sakes. Let's just make her face bigger then, won't we? That's fine. Okay. We should get started anyway. Stop looking at the pretty girls. I'm a bad influence. Okay. How hot girls became the right's new obsession. New? How ridiculous. It all began with Sydney Sweeney's cleavage. Sure. In March, the 27-year-old actress hosted Saturday Night Live for the first time, wearing low-cut outfits during the start and close of the show, which featured a number of jokes about her physical appearance, including a sketch where she played a Hooters waitress. I'm sorry, but I'm old enough to remember when Britney Spears hosted Saturday Night Live, when she just had turned 18, and there were lots of jokes about her physical. None of this is new. You notice they do this. The left does this. They will tell you what is new and what is happening, and they trust that you're not going to use your own memory and your own senses. That's what this article is. It's not about hot girls, the right's new obsession. It's a man-hating article. SNL cast member Bowen Yang revealed in a recent episode of the Fly on the Wall podcast that the Euphoria star was, quote, was practically begging everybody to make body-related jokes. Just a side note, Bowen Yang is the resident alphabet person, that, to my knowledge. I don't know how many else there are. Sorry, excuse me, I'm coming down with a little something. I was not going to leave you high and dry today. Quote, she came in and was like, please, everyone, make jokes about my boobs, he said. At the time, Sweeney's appearance sparked much discourse and was lauded by a number of right-wing commentators as, quote, the death of woke. More on that later, the article says. The actress had become a so-called conservative hot girl. Pinup for the modern-day right-wing movement as it attempts to expand the appeal of conservatism beyond the confines of its largely older white male base. Do you see what they're doing there? This is like, woo, those are the bad guys. Those are the ones they refer to as the followers of the German guy with the funny mustache. That's what they're trying to say. Oh, if you like beautiful women like that, you're evil. See? Sweeney and other conservative hot girls don't necessarily have any tangible involvement with politics, though some have strong political affiliations. but they have been claimed by right-wing public figures as their own, whether they appear to like it or not. Wow, that's a lot of words saying nothing. You're saying nothing. You're just introducing the term conservative hot girl. They're saying if it's a hot girl, well, that's just evil. Who is the conservative hot girl? The conservative hot girl isn't a particularly new phenomenon. Victoria Cann, an associate professor at the University of East Anglia, sorry guys, in the UK, told Newsweek, women have been positioned through the lens of the masculinist imagery in conservative populist politics for a very long time. Women have been positioned. I'm sorry, positioned? We are too strong and independent to be positioned. Sorry, sarcasm. It's a defense mechanism. Sweeney appears to have kicked off the latest wave of conservative hot girls at a time when conventional beauty standards have been adopted as a purported antidote to wokeness. No, wokeness and the tatted up, plump, angry, short, blue-haired, that's a cancer trying to destroy the beauty. The beauty isn't an answer to the wokeness. Beauty is as old as time. They're very, very sneaky. The media is never writing about what they say they're writing about. Never. That word was initially associated with progressive movements, but has since been co-opted to conservative critics to mock what they perceive as excessive political correctness, virtue signaling, or a tendency to overemphasize identity politics. Yeah, and also stuff that's immoral. Amy Tatum of Bournemouth University told Newsweek that, quote, this focus on hot girls is a way for the right in the US to fight back against perceptions of wokeness. Holding up women in a sexualized fashion could be a tactic to reinforce gender stereotypes around women's appearances. You see this? They want younger women to stop dressing like a woman, stop acting like a woman, stop trying to be pretty. Following Sweeney's appearance on SNL, right-wing political commentator Richard Hanania, sorry for the pronunciation, guys, shared a clip of the actress on the show in a low-cut dress with the caption, "Wokeness is dead." An opinion piece in Canada's National Post asked, are Sydney Sweeney's breasts double D harbingers of the death of woke? Honestly, that's not helpful, but the article saying that isn't helpful because it just feeds into the wokeness, in my humble, not so humble opinion. The author of that piece, Amy Ham, oh my goodness, isn't that, you guys, we have covered her before, wrote that Sweeney knows she's admired and owns her, quote, her sex appeal with zero apologies, arguing that, quote, today's diversity, equity, and inclusion advocates have discouraged admiration of beauty due to its exclusivity, implying that exclusion equates to hate. Exactly. It's also called jealousy. By the way, you guys, please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. I think that YouTube is not very happy with me and the content that I make, so you liking the videos helps them to recommend it to other people. I often am reminded to ask you guys to like when my little dog Lola reminds me. So, and she is just on that now because she wants her treat, but we're not going to give it to her yet. Quote, we aren't supposed to admire Sweeney's beauty, but we've done it anyways. Why aren't we supposed to admire her beauty? I think that's exactly the purpose of any beauty, is to admire it. That point was echoed by Inez Felcher-Stepman, senior policy analyst at the Independence Women's Forum and self-proclaimed anti-feminist. Okay, but you know what's so funny? All the hoopla about this. Are we having meetings about women are beautiful and it's a problem? Do you guys see this? Like women's beauty is a problem. Men liking beautiful women, that there actually is something as a beautiful woman, and it's objective, right? It really is. There are just, we know what we mean. Oh, well, there's preferences. Come on. Like, tiny bit. Like, I like redheads, but nobody, you guys know what I'm saying. I can't say it on YouTube. Anyway, quote, men don't only like Sydney Sweeney for her boobs. They like her because she's the first starlet in a long time to unrepentantly and cheerfully chase the male gaze. Stepman wrote on X after Sweeney's SNL debut, she is clearly giving permission to ogle and enjoying that feminine power, an oasis for men in a nut vice culture. LOL. I mean, yeah, she's giving permission to ogle. The thing is that they're all giving permission to ogle. Like, all the chicks are. You can tell by how they dress. But men only want to look at a certain type. And that's a problem for the left. In early August, Sweeney posted a series of photos to Instagram with the caption, "I think they call this a thirst trap." The sports commentator Joe Kinsey later shared the images on X with the caption, quote, "It's a bad week to be a militant blue-haired lesbian," in a thread of messages that also included posts about university sororities. That's funny. Why Sweeney? She's conventionally attractive and popular, and although the actress has never publicly discussed her political leanings, an event for her mother's 60th birthday in 2022 caused a whirlwind of speculation. And I find it interesting that this author says that she's conventionally attractive. Oh, so you're admitting that there is an objective beauty in women, an objective standard. Pictures from the party circulated online of guests wearing hats that said, "Make 60 great again," in the style of Trump's "Make America Great Again." Oh. Sweeney responded at the time, telling people to stop making assumptions, and wrote on X that an innocent celebration for my mom's milestone 60th birthday has turned into an absurd political statement, which was not the intention. Newsweek has reached out to Sweeney for comment. It's so ridiculous. I mean, in Hollywood and in that whole celebrity land, you're not allowed to be anything except leftist and support all the leftist things. And you don't make it very far if you don't. Sweeney isn't the only young woman getting the conservative hot girl treatment. Haley Welch, better known as the Hawktua girl, shot to fame in June after she appeared in a TikTok interview in which she offered sex advice. I mean, I guess that was what that was. When asked by the interviewer, "What's one move in bed that makes a man go crazy every time?" Welch replied, "You got to give him that Hawktua and spit on that thing." Oh, that's embarrassing. That's embarrassing. That's not quite the same. That's not quite the same. Hawktua is the sound someone makes while spitting. Thanks for that clarification. The 22-year-old from Tennessee has no obvious link to any political party, but this hasn't seemed to matter. The top comment on an Instagram post of Welch's, where she is posing in a red, white, and star-spangled cowboy hat for the 4th of July reads, "We did it, internet. We finally made the right person famous." I don't like that the Haktua girl is famous for what she said. I find it disgusting. I had to find out what the reference was because I live under a rock and I've never watched any kind of corn. So, and clearly I'm, yeah, living under a rock. Not doing any Haktuas. There's nobody. So, I didn't mean for that to get so personal right there. Sorry about that, but yeah. But obviously, the Haktua chick is from the South, right? It's sort of like if you don't say anything, no lefty is going to be in a red, white, and blue cowboy hat, and they know it. Her Haktua catchphrase has been adopted by conservatives, and put on merch that is similar style to former President Donald Trump's and is often emblazoned over an American flag. Ew. Merch of this style with the catchphrase Haktua 24 printed in red, white, and blue or black backdrop is also sold by Welch's official merchandise store. Wow, they are grasping at straws, aren't they? Writing in Newsweek about her newfound fame, Welch said, "All the opportunities created by the viral clip are new for me, and I'm learning along the way. So I hope people give me a little patience and forgiveness because I'm going to slip up." Newsweek has reached out to Welch for comment. Victoria Cann of the University of East Anglia said, "Sydney Sweeney and Haley Welch have actively distanced themselves from those right-wing politics, but have nevertheless become entangled within them because of what they represent, not what they actually think." I think translation, they're not coming out as lefties, so we are going to keep our eye on them because we think they're against us. This is how female politics works, just where they're like, hey, you're pretty and guys like you, and you haven't said anything bad about men. You're not man-hating enough. They don't like that. This is about man-hating. This whole article is about that. Disapproving of what men find beautiful, wanting to destroy it, and wanting to destroy those who seem to attract the male gaze, as they say, and aren't hating on men. There are women in the conservative hot girl bracket who actively engage in right-wing politics. Oh, goodness. That includes Republican National Committee National Spokeswoman Elizabeth Pipko and Republican Congresswoman Anna Paulina Luna. Right-wing and right-leaning media outlets, rather than commentators online, seem to have been behind these women's conservative hot girl labels. Also, you guys, if there was a group of women over here and a group of women over here, and you said, okay, guess which ones are lefties and which ones are right-leaning, we could all tell. It is objectively true that the ones who are right-leaning are going to be more attractive because they don't hate men. Also, I think that the ones who are a little not so gifted in the face and body and whatever, I think they start to resent that. And rather than try to, better themselves and make themselves look prettier and all the rest of it, they just go the other way and they're like, I don't care. And I think it's been that way since the beginning of time. Look at the early feminists. They're not pretty. They're not gorgeous. They're not. They're quite unfortunate to look at. It is just true. It's just true. Gosh, I'm going to get in so much trouble for this video. Oh, Lord have mercy. Yeah, please hit the like button. Just in case they come to get me. Pipko, who the New York Post described as the, quote, MAGA-loving bikini model, who's the GOP's sexiest new spokeswoman, told Newsweek that, quote, I don't think about my looks as much as I think about learning to embrace and love every part of who I am. I'm proud to try and wake up and do that every day. And more importantly, to inspire other young people around the country to do the same, politics aside. Well, she's smart. She knows how to answer a question. Luna made headlines back in August after a nearly decade-old video of her wearing a MAGA swimsuit resurfaced. The Daily Mail described her as a MAGA bombshell. In response to the video, the Florida lawmaker said on X, "I'm confirming that I have indeed worn swimsuits, and you can tell I am biologically a woman." The episode prompted Ginger Gates, the wife of Luna's fellow Florida rep Matt Gaetz, to share various images of conservative women on X, including a photo of Representative Lauren Boebert in a bikini. Yeah, my little prudish self, didn't care for that, I think. You know, the group of people that's supposed to be conserving what's good and wholesome don't need to be showing off their bodies, but it stands to reason still, like, they're the ones that could possibly do it because they do care about their appearance to men. They do, because they don't hate men. Newsweek has reached out to Luna for comment. What are you going to ask her? This is silly. Quote, "There is something titillating about seeing a beautiful young woman spouting right-wing slogans." Catherine Rottenberg of Goldsmiths University of London told Newsweek and described this as saying, "F you to feminists and other progressives." Yeah. She added that it's, quote, "an attempt to show that they are fighting wokeness." I don't think so. I don't think we think about y'all as much as you think we do. This is not fighting wokeness. You are trying to tear down what is beautiful. We say it all the time. They want to tear down what is true, good, and beautiful. This is not us trying to tear down their, degeneracy. We're just doing what we want to do and what we believe. But sure, we think about you, and that's why we dress the way we dress and eat right and grow our hair long and smile. That's what I do. That's so ridiculous. Pipko responded, "I don't consider myself someone who spouts anything but pro-American slogans, and I'm very proud of that." She described this criticism as being made by people who are, quote, "confused or so blinded by their hatred for those who hold differing political opinions that they forgot what being a feminist actually means." Well, sweetheart, I always have to point it out, like, no, I don't think that feminism is, it's never been what they say. Some people are considered conventionally beautiful, but when you have a pattern where hot girls are the faces of the movement, and when they are using tropes, bikini shots, as a way of sending a particular kind of message, then that feels extremely regressive, Rottenberg said. She added, "I am all for having lots of smart, articulate, and good-looking women as spokespeople for movements, but we need a wide range of faces, ages, and body shapes." They're mad y'all don't want them. That's all it is. This is just, I feel like I'm back in high school and there's like some, unfortunate looking and not doing anything about it chicks that are mad at the cheerleaders. And they think the cheerleaders are just looking that way to get to them, to make, like, it's against them. I'm like, cheerleaders don't even know you exist, okay? What? Conservative hot girls have one thing in common besides implied or explicit political values, according to Erin Cassisi of the University of Delaware. Probably messed up her name, but I don't care. These aren't just hot women, they're white women. How dare you? She told Newsweek. It's a narrow and conventional definition of sex appeal, of hotness. It runs counter to cultural change, reflecting an expansion of beauty standards to be more inclusive in terms of body, size, race, and ethnicity, for example. They're mad you don't want them. Sorry, it's just, I don't know. That's what this whole thing's about. What's behind the hot girl obsession? Oh, are we going to get down to it? Are you going to tell us? No, you're going to lie. This whole thing is just a hit piece on beauty and the men who appreciate it and the women who provide it. Jealous. Just some jealous high school girls, man. What's behind the hot girl obsession? The focus on the conservative hot girl comes at a time when the political gender divide in America is wider than ever. I wonder why. Because these women who hate men, that's why. It's like, y'all are the problem. Woo! A poll previously conducted for Newsweek found that more men, 26%, have become more conservative than women, 19%. Slightly more women, 18%, have become more liberal than men, 17%. Exactly. Gen Z, young Gen Z, 18, 19, 20, around there in early 20s, the men are going more conservative. The women are more left. The women are eating up the propaganda. They're getting angry, resentful, hateful, because all this, go be a girl boss and go be promiscuous, it doesn't work out. It makes them miserable. The men see the wokeness of everything. The men see how these women hate them or just don't even notice them. And they're like, I will die on the hill saying these awful women are red pilling the men. Because even in high school, they're just getting likes on Instagram. They don't even notice us. Nobody wants to even date us. They're too good for us. They're horrible to us. They're mean to us. And they get that in their head, and they're like, and they're very, lefty, wokey, whatever. And the men go, wait a minute, I'm going to just head on over here to the right. And it's a beautiful thing. What they're afraid of, in my opinion, is that the women are going to go, well, wait a minute. This is what the men want. And I kind of want a man. I don't want to tell anybody, but I kind of want a man. And they want that. I think I should go more to the right. I should maybe grow my hair long. They don't want that. That's their fear. So they're doing everything they can to not let that happen. The Pew Research Center released an analysis in April, which showed that Republicans tend to skew older than Democrats. 2/3 of voters aged 18 to 24, 66%, associated with the Democratic Party, with the largest Republican voter demographic being over 80. I love how they're just trying to be like, it's just old people that don't know anything. There's a lot of old people watching MSNBC, I'm just going to say. Goldsmith's Catherine Rottenberg said, like advertisements that sell objects by objectifying women and their bodies, this seems to be a similar strategy. Attractive women are good for business. Well, yeah, because men like them. And women like them. Women like looking at attractive women too. Newsflash. Anybody who's studied any kind of marketing knows that. I mean, Victoria's Secrets sells underwear to women. Fashion and all that sells clothes to women. Who are they putting in their clothes? Not the chunky tatted up ones. They're not putting those ones in there with short blue hair. No, they're not. You know why? Because women don't want to see that. They want to imagine themselves in the clothes, and they want to imagine themselves looking beautiful. Just saying. By having hot, I love how that's the word we're going to use. By having hot young women as their icons, multiple messages are sent that if you align yourself with the movement, you will be able to hang in the company of these gorgeous young things, that the movement attracts attractive people and not just old white men, she said. It does, because we are more, because we don't hate men. The Republican Party is predominantly male. Dun, dun, dun. They have these little things they put in there. Like, well, you wouldn't want to be part of that, would you? Because those are the mean people, the oppressors. The Center for American Women in Politics reported that in 2024, around 16% of Republican nominees for the U.S. House of Representatives are women. This is lower than the Democratic Party, where nearly 46% of the nominees are women. Yeah, because women on the right, women who are conservative, value family more than jobs. You got a lot more single women who have no children on the left. It's just true. Cassis, whatever her name is, said that the conservative hot girl is, quote, a way of appealing to other men on the basis of the male gaze. Attractiveness and power have always gone hand in hand. The presence of hot girls makes conservatism look appealing. She added that this is coinciding with reporting that conservative men are struggling on dating apps. Actually, all men are struggling on dating apps, and women actually do prefer conservative men. They're more attractive. They really are. They make more money. All the things women are, I'm not saying it's right, but all the things that women like, conservative. Focusing on these iconic hot girls may send a message that one's ideal partner is out there somewhere. Isn't that what they're always telling women? That there's always more, just more. So you just dispose of a man because there'll be another one out there. What does this say about American conservatism? Probably that we're all evil. Does the conservative hot girls rise symbolize a more liberal thinking about sexuality? Or is it the installation of women as objects for political gain? Are you serious? Do you guys remember back when they started Rock the Vote for MTV? I remember Madonna naked, just having, she had like a bikini on, and what she was draped in the American flag. Come on. They want to tell you, it's gaslighting. They want to tell you what reality is, that you guys, this is all brand new and it's invented by conservatives. Conservatives are objectifying women to strengthen their political power. No. We just never in history has it been so obvious which side the pretty girls are on. It's hilarious. But I realize, like, not everybody, like the left isn't going to read, they're not going to see what I'm seeing here. And there is more liberal thinking about sexuality, because as everything does move further to the left, there's people are wearing fewer and fewer clothes, even people who say they're conservative, which I would say, no, you're not. If you're just half naked for everyone to see, that's not very conservative of you. But that's neither here nor there for what we're discussing right now. Oh, here we go, you guys, the P word. Patriarchy and populism go hand in hand. Hannah Yellen of Oxford Brookes University in England told Newsweek, policing women, their appearance, and their bodies is an integral mechanism of the American right. What a load of garbage. What a load of garbage. Ugh. Sometimes when I have to say these things because I'm reading them, it's just like, ugh, get it off. Get it off. I wish I had pictures of each one of these women, but I think we can pretty much know a bit what they look like. Can said that the women involved in this movement who actually readily align themselves with right-wing populism oftentimes represent a profound interest in traditional gender norms and explicit rejection of feminist politics. Hear, hear. Yes, ma'am. Yes, please. Because Sissy pointed to the fact that the reification of the hot girl is coinciding with the erosion of women's reproductive rights. Erosion? Really? No. And that this points to a regressive tendency to prioritize men's sexual gratification over women's agency. Do you see this? So if you're a pretty girl and men like to look at you, you're anti-woman. That's what it is. They finally kind of get closer to it towards the end. The University of Delaware academic added, the hot girl is the opposite of the childless cat lady. Being invoked by leaders like J.D. Vance. These two competing images of womanhood arising in conservative rhetoric are two sides of the same coin, and they say a lot about what conservatives value about women. Yeah, they do. We value family. We value fertility. We don't value ending young ones. Yeah. But they want to make it so it's evil. And that's what the whole thing's about. It's about saying you're not allowed to walk away from the unattractive women. You need to accept the chunky ones, the tatted up ones, the ones with their hair cut off. You need to. And if you don't, you are bad. That's it. That is where we are. More shaming of you and angry that you're like, no, thank you. And you can call me a bad man. You know, the man can say, well, if you think I'm bad because I think this Sydney Sweeney is beautiful and the chick at the protest is not, then I guess I'm a bad man. And that's exactly what MGTOW is. They're like, I'm done. I don't want this. I don't want what you're serving. You know, at the end of the day, because even the pretty ones with their attitudes and the, divorce grape, they don't, they're walking away from that too. And all the women get angry about that. But could it be that there are women that women are trending more to the conservative traditional side? Could it be that this article is proof that they're scared? Proof that they're scared that women are starting to go, I don't want to be alone. I don't want to be a lonely cat lady. I don't want to feel ugly anymore. I'm going to work out. I'm going to grow my hair long. I'm going to try to, play at my features. I'm going to smile more. I'm going to actually ask men what they like. And that doesn't make you a slave as a woman. It doesn't mean you don't have a mind of your own. It means you want to compliment a man. It means you care about what he thinks, what he wants, what his preferences are. And he's not out there trying to chain you in the kitchen. Some ridiculous lies that the left and feminists have always tried to say. This is just that. This is them scared that women are going, yeah, I don't want to be what they are. I want to try to be more like the cheerleaders. I want to try to be prettier. I don't want to be old and alone. I don't want to have to buy a dog and die alone. So maybe I want to cooperate with a man. Maybe I like it when he likes the way I look. I think they're scared, and I kind of love it. So I hope you guys have had a great day. I hope that you have fed your souls. I have taken echinacea and zinc, so I have fed my soul with that. And I love you guys so much. And I'll see you on the next one. Bye.